Today, it's King Ranch chicken. Gotta wash this apron. Note to self. So first, what is King Ranch chicken? Well, that's easy. It's a casserole made with salsa spiced chicken, mushrooms, corn tortillas, some spices, and cheddar cheese. And why is it called King Ranch chicken? Well, that's easy too. One of the biggest ranches in Texas, the King Ranch. Back in the 40s, supposedly the cook wanted to come up with a dish that they could feed a bunch of cowboys. And since it was right after Thanksgiving, they had a bunch of leftover turkey. So they came up with King Ranch turkey. Recently, people have been making this the last 30 years or so, more with chicken than turkey, so King Ranch chicken. So for King Ranch chicken, you'll need about 2 cups of cooked chicken. I used thigh meat here from some thighs I cooked a little while back and froze and knew I would use them again. So use a rotisserie chicken if you want, or leftover baked chicken like I did here. Some chopped bacon, some chopped white onion, chopped white mushrooms, granulated garlic, chili powder, salt and pepper, cumin, flour, chicken stock, cream, salsa, and a cheese mixture. And I used Monterey Jack and cheddar, chopped tomatoes and cilantro to serve. So to get our King Ranch chicken going, first we got to make the sauce. And the way to do that is in kind of a medium saucepan over medium, maybe medium-low heat. We're going to add the chopped bacon. A little oil in there to start. And we're going to brown it, cook it, but don't let it get crispy. It's going to take 4 or 5 minutes. So once the bacon is rendered off, you're going to want to remove it from the pan. Leave about a tablespoon of the bacon grease. Add another tablespoon of oil or butter in this case. Add the diced onions, the chopped mushrooms. Keep it on kind of medium-low heat, and you're going to want to let them go about 8 to 10 minutes on this low heat until they get really nice and softened and even begin to caramelize a little bit. So after it's been sauteing for maybe 8-10 minutes, the mushrooms and onions. Next, add the granulated garlic, about a half teaspoon. The chili powder, I use Ancho chili powder here. You can use your own chili powder if you want. About a tablespoon. Half a teaspoon of cumin. Maybe half a teaspoon of calabrian chili flakes. Now, calabrian chili flakes are nowhere near as hot as red pepper chili flakes. So if you're using red pepper chili flakes, maybe only a quarter teaspoon. And cook for another minute. Add another tablespoon or 2 of butter. And let that melt in there, because now we're going to add our flour. Add a couple of tablespoons, maybe 2 or 3 of flour. Whisk it in. So keep it under low heat. It's going pretty good now. Whisk in the flour in these onions and mushrooms and all the spices. After about a minute, you're going to whisk in a cup and a half of chicken stock. Low sodium if you got it. Stir well while it's simmering and coming back to a little boil. Whisk in half a cup of salsa. And half a cup of cream. Let it go till it comes back to a little simmer, and it's going to thicken a little bit. If it gets too thick, add a little more chicken stock. Now at this point, if you want it spicier than whatever salsa you put in there, put in a can of diced green chilies or some diced green jalapenos if you want it really spicy. Okay, so your sauce has cooked for a few minutes. You can leave it a little bit longer to thicken up. Turn off the heat. Put it aside. And let's get ready to put the casserole together. Now for this one last step, before we put the casserole together, you can do this a couple of ways. I've got 12 8-inch thin white corn tortillas. You're going to want to soften these. You can do them on a griddle. You can do them in the oven. But what I like to do is I put them in some hot oil over medium-low heat. One side about 5 seconds. The next side 5 seconds. You don't want to get them crispy or they're going to be too tough. And you just start laying them on the plate, one after another, one at a time. Turn off the heat, let them cool a little bit, and we're going to get ready to put the casserole together. Okay, you've got your 12 corn tortillas softened in oil. Now, you want to cut them in half. Okay, to start layering your casserole, you're going to do it like this. Place 4 tortilla halves. Like that. Now you're going to lay about 1/3 of the sauce on the bottom, spread it around. Now half the chicken. And now 1/3 of the shredded cheese. I said I've got half and half cheddar and Monterey Jack. Now repeat with the second layer. Your cooked crumbled bacon. And cover it with foil and place in a 350-degree oven for 35 minutes. After 35 minutes, take it out of the oven, remove the top, and stick it back in the oven. After 10 more minutes, go ahead and take it out of the oven, loosely cover it with foil, and walk away for about a half an hour.